As we look at the updated title odds, Barcelona still just by a bit the favorites. For more, we welcome in Frank Leboeuf and Stevie Nicol. Frank, Barcelona seemed to send a message on Saturday. What did you make of the response from Real Madrid?
Well, it's hard to define, if Real Madrid will be a club who can be a contender for the title, because they only play like 45 minutes because of the result of the first half with a 3-0. It was very simple for them to score those goals, mostly in counter-attack, not really on building attacks, but mostly on counter-attack. And against Eibar, we in fact weren't strong enough to cope with the Real Madrid team. Second half was just like kind of a fitness training session and players coming in or out. And so if I analyze the first half, I would say that it was interesting to see that Real Madrid didn't beat very much actions, but they were very keen on getting counterattacks, and all the 3 goals, they were mainly like that, especially the second one from Sergio Ramos. But we already saw some pleasant stuff about the way they played, especially when I saw Hazard and Benzema changing position, like we sometimes saw, or many times we saw when Ronaldo was there with Benzema. They were playing like that. So I think it was a convincing first half. We need to see more of them to see if they are good enough and strong enough to cope and follow Barcelona. But let's say so far so good for the first game, and let's see next Thursday.
Stevie, Real Madrid scored very early, not really tested after that. What did you make of their performance?
They did what was required. Listen, 3-0 at half-time, you couldn't really ask for anything else. But I guess the big takeaway for Real Madrid has to be that Hazard was involved in 2 of the 3 goals. The question marks over him so far before this pandemic were, when's he going to turn up? And for me, well, I can only speak for myself, but my eyes were absolutely on him. To me, he had to start well. And I think his performance in this game, he did start well. And as I said, involved in 2 of the 3 goals for Real Madrid. 3 points was the most important thing, but I think a performance from Hazard was equally as important. And they got both.
Frank, Stevie's right. All eyes were on Eden Hazard. How do you think he played?
Well, I think he did well. I wouldn't say that he was great. I say that he was interesting. As Stevie said, he had 2 assists, almost 2 assists, that he really tried his best. I think he's not fit enough, and like everybody else, and we'll have to work more to get back to his best. His best is when he's fit, when he's really fit. He can kill anybody, with his pace, with his talent, with his skills. But we don't see that yet, of course, and it's quite normal. But as Stevie said, that was very important to see where Hazard was standing, and he's doing good, and hopefully he's going to be better and better in the future.
Stevie, they're always measured against each other. Who do you think was more impressive this weekend, just on the weekend?
I think you'd have to say Barcelona. At the same time, Real Madrid clearly had a plan from half-time onward. They were going to make a lot of substitutes, which obviously takes away from the flow of their performance. But just flat out, who played better? I think you would have to say Barcelona.
Elsewhere in Spain, Atletico Madrid were in 6th starting the day on Sunday. Had a chance to move into the top 4. They couldn't do it, though. Instead, they dropped points in a 1-1 draw against Athletic Bilbao. Frank, Atletico Madrid, they put 10 guys behind the ball always. But against 10th place Bilbao, what did you make of their performance?
Well, I'm not a really fan of Simeone tactic, and the fact that only defending and only putting players behind the ball makes you sure that you're going to have results. But I have to say that I was pretty surprised with the way they played, the way they wanted to play against a pretty much defending also Athletic Bilbao team. The game was pretty much pleasant for a first day of a restart. But it's a bad result for them because they play at home. So does it mean something now playing at home when you play in front of empty stands? We're going to see many away games be won by many teams. So maybe Atletico Madrid will be like that as well. So let's say that for the first day of the restart, it's not a good result because of the only point gained, where you know that they needed 3 points to get back to the fourth place.
Stevie, I know we don't expect a lot aesthetically from Atletico Madrid, but even by their standards, this is a particularly dour performance, right?
Do you know, of all the leagues starting, you know, the Bundesliga, we had the Coppa Italia, now we've got La Liga. We've all been trying to give teams a break, saying it's the first game. The truth is, the Atletico Madrid we saw in this game was exactly the same Atletico Madrid we saw when they were supposedly 100% fit before the shutdown. I mean, it was just same old, same old. I mean, going forward, they were awful. You know, they scored one, which was a mistake, 25 yards from their own goal, and then Arias could have won it for them, which would have been an injustice, from a cross that turned into a shot that was parried, and he nearly scored. Now, that's it for 90 minutes. And as I said, it's very difficult to see the difference between the Atletico Madrid that stepped on the field after the shutdown to the Atletico that we saw before the shutdown. Looked the same to me.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.